How you doing, everybody? Jonathan here, and in this video I'm going to answer a great question that I got about 2 days ago. Essentially the question was, hey Jonathan, what would you put in a duffel bag, or what kind of items do you think I would necessarily need if I had to grab my own stuff? And I think that's a great question because I'm all about being practical. And you may or may not know that I started off, before I got the gymnastics facility, I was training in a park. And when people ask me to go, outdoors to train, I'm often reminded of how tough it was to lug all that equipment from my car over to wherever the training space was. And so I thought this was a great question, very practical, and this video is going to be dedicated toward equipping yourself, essentially your utility bag, if you will, for the traveling fitness professional. This does not necessarily have to be just an in-home trainer, nor does it have to be just somebody that trains at the park. You may train at multiple gyms, and moreover, even if you're at the same gym, when I first started, there was another trainer. He's now one of my best friends. His name was Schubert, and I always used to kind of give him grief because he had his own little bag of tricks for his personal training clients that I didn't have. And it's just smart. It's smart business. Remember, you're a business person, so what's going to separate you from the other trainers in the gym, from the other trainers in other gyms? And that's essentially what you can bring to the table. So, without having to carry a heavy bag, I essentially put together a bag that's not that heavy. And I think if you have all these items in your bag, you will be able to go through a full day of training multiple different types of clients without having to do much switching up of what you have. Now remember, this is for the fitness professional, so this isn't just going to be, oh, you need kettlebells, you need dumbbells. This is going to be for the fitness professional. So let's start off with this bag. The first item that I have for the traveling fitness professional is going to be a first aid kit. All right, things happen in personal training, okay, or in fitness, and it's in your best interest to always be prepared for anything that happens. Somebody may sprain an ankle, somebody may get a bug bite, somebody just may get cut, and this is too easy and too cheap to not have and be caught with your pants down if your client were to have some kind of unfortunate accident, which may or may not be your fault. Now, within this first aid kit, you also want to have an ice pack. All right, this is a cold compress, mainly because I just took this out of my freezer. But you may want to purchase one of those ice packs that you squeeze, and all of a sudden they get cold. All right, otherwise, if you just kept this in your bag for an extended period of time, it obviously wouldn't remain cold. All right, and those don't cost more than a couple of dollars over at your local sporting goods store. So first and foremost, if you don't have a a first aid kit, get it. All right. The next thing that's going to be important is a body fat monitor, okay? Body fat monitor is very important because it is your job to explain to your client that it's not just about their weight, all right? And people don't really understand the importance of body fat percentage, or how if that changes and their weight doesn't change, that's, they're still making good progress, all right? So not many people know about this. A lot of people follow BMI, which I still don't understand. BMI, to me, for the most part, means nothing. I don't record it. It'll pull up your BMI, it'll pull up your body fat, but I really only pay attention to the body fat percentage. All right, and these are cheap. All right, this is made by Omron, and by the way, I'm not sponsored by any of the items that you're going to see. These are just items that I picked up. Maybe someday I'll get sponsored, but not today. All right. So this is Omron. You can essentially go over to Amazon.com, type in body fat monitor. These don't cost more than $30. Definitely a useful tool, and gives you something else to talk about with your client when you're talking about where they are and how they're progressing or what they should be doing. You'll notice that I don't have a scale in this bag, and I don't think it's necessary for you to lug a scale around. Every client, I think, should have their own scale if they're working with you, all right? And scales will change. So I think if they just stay with their scale, as long as you have your body fat monitor, you'll be perfectly fine. What they probably don't have, however, is a tape measure, all right? Definitely, in addition to taking the body fat percentage, you're going to want to take their girth measurements. I take arms, bust, hips, waist, so I can get the hip to waist ratio. thighs, and that's it. And people just like to see change, all right? The more that you can document and point out positive changes that your clients are making while they're training with you, the better. All right, now, how are you going to, document all this stuff? I would recommend a tablet. All right. Now, I am not somebody that likes to spend a lot of money on stuff, unless it's Nike, of course. But I actually didn't get a tablet until a couple days ago, and it was mainly the catalyst to me getting a tablet was this question, and I really thought, okay, how can I make myself more efficient? And I've been thinking about trying to eliminate paper with waivers and EFT forms and such, and a tablet will make your life a lot easier. Now, this is the Samsung Galaxy Note, all right, the newest one, and I will do a video on this and why this may be your best option. If you have an iPad, you can make it work for all the functionalities that I would suggest that you use it for. But I think the Samsung right now is going to be the best option in terms of the fitness professional and everything that you would do with this. Now, watching this video, don't run out and get a Galaxy until you watch my, what you would want to use this for, apps to download. But a tablet will allow you to, number one, put down your client's measurements. Number two, document your client's workouts. You're going to have to use Microsoft Excel, but I'm going to make that a lot easier for you. I'll put together a bunch of sheets that you can download. I'm working on a website. It won't be up probably until tomorrow morning, but there'll be things that you can download so that you can put your workouts directly on your tablet. Also, if you wanted to do your billing and you had a virtual terminal, it's definitely something I recommend. Again, if you don't have a virtual terminal, don't run out and get the first one that you see. Wait for the video to come up. I'm going to put together a video called The Benefits of Taking Cash, Checks, and Credit Cards. My only issue is time. But with the new year coming, I'll have a day off. The gyms will be closed. I'll have nothing else to do. So, I'll sit tight and I'll put together videos on how to use your notebook and how to use your merchant services before you have to run out and make that decision. Or which notebook to use, things of that nature. So, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet, because there's a lot of videos to come. Don't run out and get anything yet, but just know that a tablet's going to make your life a lot easier. Now, in terms of billing, now where did that thing go? In terms of billing, the next thing that you might want is a Square, all right? The Square card reader. Now, if you're the type of person that doesn't do subscription billing, which I suggest, and I'll cover it in that video, and you want to charge your clients, per session or whatever the case may be, or maybe you just run a service where you would prefer to charge per session, you can essentially purchase this and attach it to your phone. All right, it goes onto the audio jack of your phone. Once you establish an account, and this is made by Apple, this costs $10. Once you make an account, you essentially swipe the card, you put in the amount of money that you want to charge a client, and the money goes directly into your account. Now, this costs $10. Apple will give you a $10 refund just for putting together an account. Why are they going to do this? Why are they essentially going to give this for free? Because it charges you 2.75%, 2.75% for every transaction that you do. So if you charge somebody $100, you're really only going to get $97.25. My math is wrong. I don't care. All right. So this will charge you, and that's why they give you the $10 back, because you will continually be paying Apple. But for those of you that run into situations where the client doesn't have cash, or if they have a reputation for bouncing checks, you can say I only do credit or debit only, and then you can use the Square. Now, the managed billing, the Orbital, the virtual terminal, is generally a lot cheaper in terms of interest that you pay. My service charges for my virtual terminal don't go beyond 2% for every transaction that I do. And once you start to do a lot of transactions, that's a lot of money that you're giving away. So, and also you can't save a credit card with this Square. All right, whereas with the virtual terminal, you can save the card information, and then you can just charge them anytime you want. Again, sit tight. When you see the video on billing and such, I'll go deeper into it. All right, so we've covered a lot of the administrative and businessman or woman type stuff that you'd want. All right, let's talk about some practical exercise things that you'd want. Now, number one is going to be a TRX suspension trainer or any kind of suspension trainer. TRX essentially just cornered their market first, and now there are a lot of other products that are very similar and probably a little bit more reasonably priced. This is the newest kind of TRX. All right, it has the bigger hook, the adjustable whatever this thing is, so that you can adjust the length without using that really hard button that they had in their original TRX model. And then they have the rubber handles, which I think people will like because, you know, once people start to sweat on it, it may start to smell or whatever the case may be. This costs about $249. Obviously, you can find another suspension trainer for $100 or less. So you can shop around for whatever suspension trainer is better for you, but you can do just about anything with a TRX in terms of pushing, pulling, assisted squats, assisted anything. This can be used in home. If you don't have anything to attach this to, you can essentially purchase a door anchor, which doesn't cost more than like $30. And if you're in a park, you can purchase a TRX extender to wrap it around a tree, a goal post, whatever the case may be. That'll cost about $20. So definitely, huge investment that you'd want to make, very useful for you. The next thing would be jump rope, good old-fashioned jump rope. Can't go wrong with it. There's nothing, the only thing that would get into your way is coordination. But aside from burpees, if you need a small amount of space to do a lot of cardiovascular conditioning, a jump rope, a good one, you can't go wrong. So definitely a jump rope should be a staple in any trainer's bag. The next thing, holy smokes, the next thing I forgot to put in the bag, but it's relatively small. I'll be right back. The next thing is resistance bands. All right, now this is a very important note on the resistance bands, because you can do anything with resistance bands, but you have multiple different types of clients with multiple different levels of strength. Moreover, there are different exercises that you can do with the bands that may require more resistance for you to get something out of it. So I recommend, number one, that you buy 2 resistance bands. And the second thing that I recommend is that you get adjustable resistance bands. Just so you can see, this is an adjustable resistance band where I can add 1, 2, or 3 bands. And for whatever clientele you have, you can just purchase additional light, medium, or heavy bands. All right, that way, if you were doing a circuit of band work, and then you wanted to do, some kind of band tricep extension, and then some kind of band row or squat where you need a heavier band, you can essentially circuit somebody back and forth between 2 bands. Or if you're just really quick with the change up of the bands, you can add additional bands on to make it much, much, much heavier. So make sure that when you buy bands, they're adjustable. All right. Number 2, make sure that you have more than one. And ideally, if you can find bands with a softer handle, safety first. You never know. Sometimes a client may let go of one if it's wrapped around something wrong, or or it can just break in general. People don't always think when they're exercising. Most importantly, when they're tired. So a soft handle will be best. All right. What else is in the bag? Next is going to be cones. All right, very simple. And they don't have to be the big 9-inch cones. These just happen to be the ones that I had. But if you go to Target or Walmart or whatever local stores around that has a sports section, you can get those little flat cones. All right, and this I guess is specific to the park trainers, but you can come up with a number of fun, different drills with 5 or 4 cones. And it gives your clients a point of reference, something to relay around, something to shoot for, something to touch. Or if you have a client that you have an exercise like a suicide of some sort where they're supposed to touch the floor and they can't get their hand all the way down, you can place the cone on the floor and then they only have to touch the top of the cone. So cones are great. I talk about cones all the time. Nobody listens to me, but definitely cones are going to be a great thing to have at your disposal. The next thing, listen, I talk about this all the time. I talked about this in the How to Sell Personal Training video, and I think I talked about this in another video. I can't remember which one. But there are two types of clients, all right, in terms of relieving stress. There are the type A clients that want to hit something, and then, there are the more passive clients that might prefer stretching. But for those type A clients, and there are a lot of them because stress runs rampant, you want to have focus mitt work. Let me tell you something. If you have focus mitts, a jump rope, and cones, you have a full hour's workout, no problem. And I would suggest you charge more for the boxing, because if you're doing focus mitt work, it's going to take a lot out of you. You can get away with charging more because not so many trainers do it. So get good with working with focus mitts. Have your clients buy a pair of boxing gloves. They won't cost more than $40, and that's like a good pair at your local generic sporting goods store. So focus mitts for the people that are having a bad day. I guarantee if somebody's kind of like slacking on their exercise routine for the day, and you say, hey, you know what? You seem like you've had a rough day. Let's just, let's throw the gloves on. Talk to me. Your client will definitely appreciate it. They'll have a great time, and your session will end well. All right. Last but not least is a deck of cards. All right. You can come up with a number of different games. Most notably, the card game that I have a video on. So if you've never watched a card game, go over, to my search field on my channel and type in card game. It's the one game that I have up right now that I think you can do with one person or multiple people. And I had actually said in that video that I was going to put up the legend. So essentially with this card game, you draw from the deck, and each suit represents an exercise. The face cards are 10 reps, the ace is 1 rep, the joker is a free card. You can put them on a timer and then just have your client do as many, collect as many cards as possible. Whatever they get, and they can't be upset. Diamonds are going to be jumping jacks, clubs are going to be mountain climbers, hearts are going to be squat thrust burpees, up downs, whatever you like to call them. And spades are going to be bodyweight squats. You can have a great time with that. And like I said, I'm putting together a website right after I finish uploading this video, and then I'll make this available to you guys so that you can download it. You can have it at your disposal if you have a binder, or if you just want to put it on a PDF and then you want to put your tablet up with a timer on, then your client can look to the tablet as their legend. It will make it unbelievably easy. So this is a Nike bag, size small, all right, and you can fit all that stuff in there, and it won't weigh more than 10 pounds, all right. I even had a weighted jump rope in there because mine is weighted. So when you're going from house to house, park to park, location to location, or client to client, the last thing that you may want to bring will be a foam roller, all right? Like I said, the other type of client that may not be type A, that doesn't want to punch a lot of stuff, may just want to be stretched out. I just made a video last week on the importance of offering stretching for your clients, and the foam roller and assisted stretching will be a great tool as a recovery day, or as the last 15 minutes of your workout, so the client can talk about what their day was like, how the nutrition has been. I will definitely put together eventually an assisted stretching workflow that will go on the website. The website will be jonathanfitpro.com. Very simple. All right, so I'm going to work on it as soon as I'm done with this video. But that's about it. You have the bag on your shoulder, and then you can carry this. All right, this is not hard. But if you're trying to put kettlebells and dumbbells and whatever other bells in your hands or in your bag and then lugging it over from client to client, you're going to wear out. So I just want you to be as practical as possible, so those of you that move around a lot can offer something different and also not wear yourself out. Alright, so that's about it. I hope you found this video helpful. I have some work to do. I have a website to build for you guys. As usual, I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, definitely show your appreciation. Number one way to do so would be to share as much of these videos as possible with your friends. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share my stuff on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter, Jonathan Fit Pro. Follow me on Instagram, Jonathan Fit Pro. Find me on Facebook, Jonathan Fit Pro. Easy to find. Starting December 30th, check out jonathanfitpro.com. As usual, another way to show your appreciation, anytime you click on the videos that precede or follow any of my the advertisements rather. Anytime you click on any of the advertisements that precede or follow any of my videos, Jonathan gets paid. So, however you can show your appreciation, I definitely appreciate it. Remember, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, comment below. Lots of videos to come. I can't wait. The only thing that gets in the way is time. So I'll be putting these videos up together, putting these videos up soon. Add me as a friend on Facebook because the best content is coming from you guys. All right, some of the best videos that I've made or that I've gotten the best responses have been answers to questions that I've gotten through Facebook or through the comment tab. So, if you have a question, there's no such thing as a dumb question. If it's something that's really like specific, I may just answer you directly. But if it's something that I feel that will apply to a lot of people and help a lot of people, like this question did, I'll definitely make a video, and you definitely just help toward the cause. So, remember to eat healthy, hydrate, drive safe. Stress levels low, get rest, don't slap anybody. Love your clients, they will love you back. I will see you all tomorrow or the next day, and you have a good week.